hope that this didn't happen to you, but it happens to so many that it probably happened to some of you. And that is, I want a divorce. Oh yeah? Well, I'm taking the house. No, you aren't. Who gets the cat? And, you know, it's just bad enough that you have to go through splitting up a house, but splitting up the possessions doesn't have to be that way, right? Right, Michael?
It absolutely does.
Michael knows what he's talking about because as a specialist in divorce mediation, are you also saying that there are some people who know how to make nice with each other? Because on television, we always see the battle of the two genders.
It absolutely doesn't have to be a battle. And that's what people are doing when they enter divorce mediation. They're saying, we're not going to battle. They may be frustrated with one another. They may be in a lot of pain. They may not even like each other. But for certain reasons, for the kids, because it's in their best interest to mediate, and to protect their own finances, they choose to do what's in their own best interest, which is avoid a war in court and sit down and speak with one another and actually solve problems that need to be addressed.
How do you get to the point, though, where both parties agree to go into mediation? It sounds like you'd have to have a mediator to decide that.
You know, sometimes that's the case. I mean, what we do is offer a consultation. So people can come in at no cost and actually learn about the process.
Together or separately?
You know, they come in together. One of the most important things is that I maintain my neutrality throughout the process. So from that very beginning moment, they stay together, they hear the same information, and then they can make an informed decision about whether it's right for them.
Michael, whether it's him or her, in most situations, doesn't somebody want more than 50%?
You know, I think that that's one of the things that we can do in mediation is be creative. And sometimes it's not about splitting everything 50-50. Sometimes it's about one spouse getting more of one asset in exchange for another spouse getting some more or less of another asset.
Talk about the benefits, though. The benefits to everyone in mediation.
Gosh, the benefits are massive. The average cost of a divorce in Maricopa County is astronomical. So people are going to save a tremendous amount of money and time. You're looking at several months in mediation as opposed to a year or more, many times years of fighting. It's confidential. So instead of a public process that's out on the public stage, people are keeping their family matters private. And we're de-escalating conflict throughout the entire process. Litigation, attorneys tend to escalate, not all, but certainly a good number. We're de-escalating, which really in the end is best for kids because they need parents after divorce to be united and to still have an amicable relationship.
I'm glad you brought that up because the house is an inanimate object, and all of the possessions are. But the kids are real people.
Sure.
And they're the ones who are going to be most affected by animosity. Don't you find that generally true, that mediation is also best for the kids?
There's no question about it. We have a lot of research to show that kids whose parents mediate generally have better longer-term relationships with parents. That's the most harmful thing to kids, is high conflict between parents during divorce and after divorce. So when you lower that conflict and you keep parents united as parents after divorce, there's no better thing that parents can do for their kids.
Obviously, you don't have to name names, but come up with an example, just off the top of your head, in your professional career, of a settlement that benefited everybody.
Oh, wow. You know, there's never a mediation that I've been a part of, really, where that question wasn't taken into account. That's really the essence, is that everyone's interest should be met. So, I mean, people do all kinds of very creative things.
Give me an example.
Well, you may have heard in terms of the home, for example, of, you know, selling a home, dividing the assets. People can delay a sale of a home. So maybe the kids are still young. Maybe parents decide, you know what, there's benefit to keeping the kids in the home. Let's, in the divorce decree, have an agreement where the home will be sold when the youngest child reaches 18.
Well, that's interesting.
Then split the assets.
I would never have thought of that, but then again, I don't have a law degree, and he does, Michael Aurit. And the whole key here is keep it civilized, okay? Found out about it on the morning scramble. Remember that.